What's up, y'all? Vinny FaceTimed me, so it took me a minute to get over here. What's going on, people? I'm here with Jack. I'm a,
Did you have to bring him?
I'm not bringing them over here to show you because she got on her bandana.
I don't care about that. I just don't.
No, I'm gonna sit right here because I didn't grab my tripod. I mean, I didn't grab the ring light, so I'm just gonna do it right here. Um, I'm glad you all enjoyed the show. Um, the next episode will, of course, be this coming Monday. It's going to be every Monday until all of the episodes are gone. I believe we're going to have 5, maybe 6 episodes. And so today has been a long day. I know that I told you guys that I was going to uh, thank you so much, S. Brown. I know I told you guys that I was going to share like the first 8 minutes with you guys this morning, but Cassandra and I, that's my editor, we were kind of behind the 8 ball. I had a lot going on. If you're on my Patreon, then you saw some of what I had going on today. And then I was working on the app, because we got Say It in the Card app coming. It was going to be 49 minutes. And I asked Cassandra to cut it back. And I said, no, let's cut it back. And I said, let's just make it like 30 minutes because I want to be able to spread it out over like 5 episodes, 5 or 6 episodes. And but we had a lot going on today. And so we didn't get a chance to get I didn't get the episode like earlier in the day like I wanted to. So I wasn't able to share like those first 8 minutes. So I literally got the episode. What time was that? About 7 o'clock? I got the episode like 7 o'clock. It is on Facebook, Marie. It is on Facebook. I literally I didn't get the episode until 7 o'clock. Of course, I had to watch it to make sure that it was good. And thank you, Behind Her Smile. These stories touched me in a different way. I loved it. Thank you so much. Lakeisha, thank you so much for everything that you were saying in the video. Thank you, Tanya Leonard. I appreciate all of you guys for commenting and watching and sharing it. I felt so close to the motherland listening to your guest. This is transcending, boo. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Excellent. My prayer for you is to be picked up by Mission Network. Blessings to you and all your hard work. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Marcia said, I'm watching now. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you, RJ. But yeah, we filmed that back in October, of course, when I was gone. And so again, just to kind of give you guys the process, I know some of you watched the first season. If you didn't see the first season of telling our stories. Oh, and Hope, I want to know where's that real estate show you were talking about? Where can I watch that real estate show? But if you watched the first season of telling our stories, it was filmed in my backyard. That's before we tore it up trying to do this renovation. So that's on my YouTube channel. And there are a couple episodes on my Facebook channel too, but there are 5 episodes from season 1. And we did a conversation with Black queer men and women here in Atlanta. So this one was important to me. And I just said to Jack earlier, I guess I need to be figuring out what the next one is going to be. Like, I guess I need to be ready to film it probably in April or May. I need to figure out what the next one is going to be. Next season is going to be. Yes, don't forget to book your cruise. Book your cruise, people. But yeah, so again, just my process. Once I came back, I made a bunch of notes. In fact, I think no. I made the notes while I was still in France. So what I did was I make a long list of notes, and then I send them over to Cassandra, and all of the pop-ups that you see with like the information and stuff like that. Like for example, gag, like when they use the word gag, I always try to put words up with the definition for those who may not know what those semantics mean. Because I want everybody to be able to follow the story and understand what's happening. So I send her, like I watch the episodes. Like what happens is when the videographer films it, I watch all of the footage. and then I make notes. And so I'll show you my notes. And so I make notes like, here are my notes from this episode, from this season. So see, it says season 2, the Paris edition. And I tell Cassandra exactly what I want. I say, I want this one to have a different aesthetic. I want it to feel and look like a documentary. And so then I say, from the color, I want the color to be like rich, but I want it to feel like a documentary. And then I just go into it and I tell her about the different pop-ups, and then I put the information in there. I put the time stamps, and then be able to do that. And then I send all of that information over to her. And then even like the part about Lupin, the TV show, like I tell her to insert a picture, or I'll send her pictures. The young boy Niel that was shot and killed in France, I send her pictures of him. So I send all of that stuff. She just puts it together, and she does a beautiful job of that. I've been working with Cassandra for so many years. I keep saying that I'm going to bring her on the live so that you guys can meet her and see her. I think you guys did see her once when I was picking up footage or dropping off footage to her one time I was on my live. But she's been doing my footage for a while. She's been doing my editing for a long time. Even with outspoken or telling not outspoken, gay like me conversations. Like when we did the sizzle reel when we got in bed with Suzanne DePass. She did that. So like I just love the work that she does, and so we work really well together. And yeah. So do you guys have any questions while I'm sitting here? Please hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. If you have any questions, I can answer those now. Did you see the actor? No, I didn't see him when I was there. Oh yeah, wait till we start talking about sex. Vinny got a story for y'all. Well, hello. Hello. But no, I did not see the actor while I was there. But I am exhausted. Like I was up all day today. I mean, I got up at like 7:00 this morning. And again, like last night I was working late on the app, the Say It in the Card app. Just like I have these notes here for Cassandra, I had a bunch of notes for the developers that are building the app for Say It in the Card. Hope said we need 2 episodes a week. Oh, it was heartfelt. Oh, Powerful said, I liked season 1, but this was really heartfelt. So for the participants for this show, Vinny actually pulled them together for me. We had talked about it before I went to France. And I said to him that I wanted to film this series, and I told him about the first series, and so I told him the type of people that I wanted. I said I want a trans woman, a trans man, like somebody that represents the different communities within the subculture. Now, obviously, we didn't have anybody that identifies as non-binary. We didn't have anybody that identifies as bisexual, but yes, and so like so he put it together. So we had like some other people that we wanted to be involved in it as well. But it happened the way that it was supposed to, and I felt like we had a great group of people because we had a trans man. A lot of you were asking me on the first season of Telling Our Stories, why aren't there any trans people? But the first season was not about the trans experience. It was really about Black gay men and Black lesbians. That's what the first season was about. So on this one, I wanted you guys to kind of be able to see the spectrum. So I wanted to have a trans man, a trans woman, a gay man, which was Vinny. Obviously, I was there too, but I wasn't really a participant. And then the last one was Mariana, who identifies as a lesbian. So I wanted to kind of have like that core group, and I didn't want it to be too many people because then the conversation could just kind of go all over the place. But one of the things that I'm so impressed by is their English. I'm so impressed by their English. And that was the other thing. We had to make sure, Vinny and I had to make sure that we found people who could speak fluent English, because not everybody speaks fluent English, but most of the people in France have a working language, working knowledge of English. but we needed people who could speak fluent French. And so, and I saw your comment saying that you guys love their accents and things like that. I'm so impressed by the way that they speak. I really want to be, um, I really want to be, I want to be fluent so desperately. I'm like, tonight I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to listen to some French stuff. I'm probably going to watch this show that you were just talking about, Hope, this Netflix show, this real estate show. I gotta go back and look at those comments to see what the name was again. Unless you're gonna type it back down there for me. Um, but yeah, so I just need to just keep practicing and keep listening. Um, Deidre said this was the right amount of people. We were able to connect with them, and they weren't talking over each other. Exactly, and right. It's hard to find fluent people in the United States that can speak English. Come on, somebody. How about that? Okay, the Parisian Agency. Okay, I gotta watch that. I'm gonna watch that. Let me make a note of that. The Parisian Agency. The Parisian Agency. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that. The conversation was amazing. I learned a lot. I'm glad you did. Been working on Wayne. They having sidebar conversation. Wayne and me and what's up, Vic Spade? I feel like this is one has a deeper connection, and I think too because it was so personal. You know what I mean? It was so close. It was so many. It was so few people. It was only like 5 of us. It was very enlightening, especially being in a foreign country. Yeah. And then here's the other thing, just to kind of give you some background on it. A lot of that footage, like what we call B-roll footage, um, you know, like the footage where you see me and Vinny walking through the streets of Paris, or in the beginning when I was in the Uber, and when you see shots of the Eiffel Tower, I did all of that from my cell phone, the same phone that I use um, to film my Patreon and to do my live videos, right? And I'm saying that because I know a lot of times people will say, well, I want to start creating stuff. And it may not even be live content. It may be, you may want to do short films or do videos or whatever it is that you want to do. And you think that you have to have all of this expensive equipment. You got to have all these cameras and all this extra stuff. But no, you really don't. You use what you have. And what I've learned is you already have everything that you need to do whatever it is that you want to do. And so, you know, what I did was a lot of that footage that you guys saw, a lot of that B-roll footage, that was footage that was in my Patreon. Like the people who are on Patreon, who are on the My Life in Paris, you saw that. You saw that footage, but you heard, of course, the audio with it. Of course, you saw, you know, you got the context of what I was doing that day or whatever was happening. But I had the idea probably a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and I messaged Cassandra, the editor, and I said to her, I said, you know what? Because then I sent her all of that footage. And I said, I want you to use some of this footage like in the intros, as we go to commercial, that, you know what I mean? All of that kind of stuff as the show is wrapping up at the end. And so I really wanted to really kind of paint the picture. So yes, we were in Vinny's apartment, but I wanted you to be able to see like Paris as well. And maybe you'll go over there and subscribe to the My Life in Paris over there on the Patreon. But let me see. Somebody said your videographer could no, Cassandra is the editor. The videographer I met in Paris through Vinny. His information was at the end of the video. It was at the end of the episode. Let me see. Wait, you should. So yeah. So a lot of that footage, like that B-roll footage that you see of like the streets of Paris, even in the sizzle reels, that came from my cell phone. I just sent it over to Cassandra and she incorporated it into the episodes. I know that's right, Miss Beaches. Go ahead and get that money. Get that money, niece. Thank you very much, DW Bats. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, that was just footage that I filmed on my cell phone, and then I had the videographer there in France film the stuff that you saw at the in the actual conversation. I put it all on a drive, and I've actually sent that stuff over to Cassandra while I was still in France. Like I put it in my Dropbox, and then she was able to access that footage. She was able to download it all, and then I wrote up my notes, the ones that I just showed you, and I emailed it to her, and she went to work. And so yeah. So please share the video, share the episode. Please share the episode, and because I really need, I want as many people as possible to see it. This needs to be on TV. I know that's right. Look at Alicia, who calling us. Whoever it is can't get in right now. Yeah, Cassandra always does her thing. Cassandra is bad to the bone, and she did all of those sizzle reels that I put out, all of those promo videos that you saw promoting it. You, Phyllis Russell said, Craig, I got my CMOS Thursday and I feel great. Thank you for the recommendation. Come on, somebody. Thank you, top tier. Did you see how I had, well, so the hoodie that Vinny had on, of course, comes from CraigTheWriterStewart.com. The Therapy is Sexy hoodie. I took that to him as a gift. It wasn't really for me to just put it in here just to advertise. What happened was when Vinny and I first connected before I went to France, when we started talking about what we do, he told me what he does over there in France. I told him what I do here. And when I mentioned that I work with Madison and do this, that, and the third, he was like, oh my God, that's where I know you from. And he was like, you had on a hoodie one day, and he said you had on a sweatshirt. Well, he didn't say sweatshirt, but he said you had on a shirt one day, and he said it says something about mental health. And so he said, I can't remember what it says. I said, oh, therapy is sexy. So I took him one as a gift. And so then I didn't know he was going to wear it when we filmed, but he wore it when we filmed. And so, so there you have it. Thank you so much, Hope. Miss Ann. I know, I'm ready for next week too. Let me see. I didn't bring Vinny on the live tonight because he just called really just to say, oh my God, I watched it. I loved it. Da, da, da. Like, what time is it now? 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. It's like 3 in the morning over there, 2 in the morning over there. He's in bed. He was in the bed. Let's see. Oh, and then when I was there in France, of course, I had already met all of the people who were in the episode. I had already met them because we had all hung out at some point while I was there. Wait, in America, y'all said I played the. What are you talking about, Vinny? Vinny's still in the chat because he's being nosy. I can't believe he's still up. You know what? It's time. My mother used to tell me a long time ago, she's like, I really think you need to do a talk show. I was like, girl, that ain't how that works. I wouldn't, just because you telling me, oh, he means I plead the fifth. It was just like, why don't you go ahead and get a talk show? And I'm like, Ma, that's not how that works. Like, I can't just go and get a talk show because you're telling me I should go and get a talk show. And so then years later, then we start doing podcasts. There's this thing called podcasts, which was not a thing when she first said it. But hey, Mioka. Thank you, Mantra. You see me yawning. I'm telling you, I'm exhausted. I fell asleep on the couch, waiting for Cassandra to send the episode. I dozed off. Jack made this strong ass cocktail. Jack swears she over here working.
I am, but I'm about to shut it down. about to shut it down. I'm tired.
She over here working. When I tell you she came over here today and she made this tomato basil, homemade tomato basil soup. And what oh, and a vegan grilled cheese. Baby, when I tell you there's some over there left over and I'm gonna eat before I get in the shower. And when I tell you, it was so good and there's some leftovers over there, I will be eating that. Who are you telling, Kevy Kev? Who are you telling? Let's see. Definitely lunch tomorrow. It was so good. It was
so when you were over there, so could you live there?
I could.
You could live there.
And I've never thought that I could live in a country that wasn't English speaking. But like, yeah, it was definitely a winter meal. That's what put me to sleep for sure. I could definitely live there. Like I felt like, yeah, I could live here. You know what I'm saying? Like I definitely did feel that, and I was like, if nothing else, I felt like I could put a place there.
You go there.
Yeah, and then like go and stay for the summer, or go and stay during the Christmas and Thanksgiving holiday. And the vegan grilled cheese, it was Daya. Daya cheese. It was the cheddar cheese by Daya, which is a vegan company. Good night, Vinny.
Good night.
And it's a vegan company. I mean, vegan cheese. And then it was mushroom, portobello mushroom that she sliced really thinly. She sliced up some onion, and didn't you saute those both?
I roasted the mushrooms.
She roasted the mushrooms, sauteed the onions, and then she put vegan mayo on the bread and vegan butter on the bread, and then she put it in the pan hot, and it melted down. When I tell you that Daya vegan cheese,
it's cheesy.
It's cheesy. And so we ate that, and then we were dipping it in I put it on my Insta story and on my Facebook story. I was dipping the bread into the thing. Oh my God, it was so good.
Look, somebody said that Nikki said black people suffocate in France. She said, you know that.
She did say that.
Really?
Showcheck loves you. We want to see you win. Hell, I want to see all my people win. Thank you, TC. I was just watching you and Elliot's cooking video. Nikki said black people suffocate in France. I'm still chewing on that. Come on, somebody. Yes, she did say that. Now, that was a big surprise to me. I did not know that. Because I've never directly experienced racism there. And this was my third time in France. But I've never experienced it or felt it, I should say.
That's what I was wondering. Is it?
Yeah.
Because it's everywhere.
It is.
Sometimes you just may not experience it on your. Did you see Wanda Barnes' person earlier? But you may not experience like that on that trip. Like you see, but you've been there three. This was your third.
This was my third time.
But then when it hits you, like if you're there and you're all acclimated and you grooving and everything, and then all of a sudden this racism thing, you know, or so that's how I was asking, like, could you live there? But it's everywhere.
It is everywhere.
It's everywhere.
And one of the things that they said, and we'll say this in one of the future episodes, Paris is more accepting because it's really diverse there. Like when you go there, you see a lot of mixed race couples and mixed race people. But France is racist. Especially like the south of France and in places like that.
They still on like old world stuff kind of.
Right.
War.
But then here, Alicia, shut the fuck up. She's talking about, she's the Impeccable Works LLC corporate chef. Talking about you. She is so stupid. Oh my God. But yeah, but one of the things that Nikki also said from the episode was that when she made the decision, when she said her father was a psychologist or psychiatrist, and she said, but you're not going to make, I can't remember exactly how she worded it, but she said something like, you're not going to make a decision over my life, and da, da, da. Like the way that she laid that out, like that was that her choice of words were really were powerful. And part of that may be because English is not her first language, but her choice of words were really great there. Nicole said, "Oh, don't tell us if we look. Look, they want to know what we're going to talk about in the future episode. You got to watch it, niece. It's going to be nice to just see it. You know what I mean? But I really am impressed with how the commercials came out too. Those of you who advertise, thank you for advertising. I appreciate you advertising. Yeah, he said he was not going to control her life and just, you know, that broke my heart hearing that about Louis. Right. But I appreciate those of you who advertised. I really like the way that the commercials came out. Yeah, it was nice. And oh, and then the other thing is, when I was explaining to you guys that a lot of that footage, like that B-roll footage, came from my cell phone, and I just sent it over to the editor. Thank you, Alicia. Those voiceovers, like the ones from the episode where I was reading like things that happened in France, I recorded those in my car because there were people here working today. So I had to get in the car because it was nice and quiet. But some of them I recorded in the house when there was nobody here but me. And then like today I had to run out there and jump in the car and record some voiceovers. And it was the ones about the guy Niall who was killed and all of the different ones that you saw in the episode tonight. I had to record all of those because I had forgotten to record them and send them to Cassandra. And she messaged me and said, did you ever send me the... I said, you know what? I didn't send them. And I had to run out to the car and do that. So all of even the commercials, like I record those in the voice notes on the cell phone. So, you know, again, you have everything that you need to do whatever it is that you want to do, right? You don't need a whole bunch of fancy equipment. I recorded in voice notes. I texted over to Cassandra. Yes, that therapy commercial was good. Yeah, for sure. So hopefully you guys will support those businesses that you'll see that advertise. I was also shocked that that the people were getting shot. Unarmed black people, black and brown people are getting shot over there too. I didn't know that that was a thing outside of the United States, like in Paris. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Lavonda. Being on holiday somewhere is different to living in the country full time. I travel a lot. Da, 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 da. Yeah, it definitely would be different if I lived there, for sure. But when I went, it wasn't really a holiday. You know, it was just like it was nothing really, because they don't celebrate Thanksgiving in Paris. And I don't even think they celebrated in London. But I was in London on Thanksgiving. So, but by the time Christmas came, I was back here in the States. So like, I don't know what it's like to be there on a holiday. But that's the truth for anything. Like, even if you visited a different city, Cherie said it, not me. Yeah, I knew she meant on vacation, right? But I'm just saying, like, even when you travel, like if you visit another city, it always feels different when you're visiting. But you know, because the experience is going to be different. But I mean, you know, being there for almost 2 months, it was just, you know, it just felt like every day. Yeah, racism is definitely going to be everywhere for sure. Yeah, especially for black and brown people, for sure. Oh, Karen said, no, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving in the UK. I didn't think so. But yeah, so, and part of the reason why I wanted to be there for as long as I was there was because I didn't want it to feel like a vacation. I wanted it to feel like, you know, like I was a resident. You know, that's why I wanted to get a gym membership, and that's why, and what you get to see on My Life in Paris, that Patreon that I set up. But like you get to see like that, like like just being there at the gym and then just taking the train or taking an Uber, a different place, going to the grocery store, that kind of thing. So it was just really interesting to do that. Just to be there for like everyday life. People getting up, going to school, like the kids going to school, and people getting up, going to work, and going to the barber shop was a different experience. Just all of that, and then just hanging and being with people who live there full time. Um, um, I don't think that it was expensive. I mean, I really feel like obviously the most expensive part of the trip was the apartment. Um, Groceries were a little expensive, I would say. I am exhausted. Do you hear me? Hmm. I would say the groceries were expensive, and I'll say because and I think I said this when I came back. Their portion sizes are smaller, but their prices are very similar to ours for those very small portions. So what I mean is, like, they don't have big ass bottles of ketchup. You know how we got big ass bottles of ketchup, like every big ass bottles of mustard. Like their hot sauce bottle, like we got big ass bottles of Texas Pete. Their hot sauce bottle might be like the size of this. It might be something like that, like a little Tabasco sauce. Like their shit ain't all big and oversized like ours, but you still paying, you know, similar prices. There was a restaurant that I really enjoyed. I talked about it on My Life in Paris, the Patreon that I set up, and I took you to this one particular restaurant on the Patreon that I really enjoyed. I went there probably like 4 different times. Like when I first got there, I went there like several times because I really enjoyed this one particular dish, and it's actually like down the street from Vinny's house. Yeah, smaller portions, and they walk more. But like overall, like the food was just okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yes, like exactly. Like they got the small condiments like that. And even like syrup, like if you're making pancakes and things, like your syrup bottles are gonna be small. Like they don't have them big ass 32-ounce things that we oh my god. Yeah, I think I don't know. I can't say if the prices are worse here. I'll tell you this, I didn't see no Aldi's. You know how I get my produce from Aldi's? I don't know if there really is a difference. I don't know if there really is a difference. Like in the episode, like, when we talked about the show Lupin, which is on Netflix, that actor spoke out about that brown boy who was killed. And in France, the country itself, like the white French people were, even though he's this huge star, they wanted him to shut up. They didn't want him to talk about it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, like traditionally here in the States, like white folks traditionally have liked and enjoyed us as entertainers. But then when we have a brain and we're actually talking about the disparities um, in society, they don't always want to have that conversation. I wouldn't say that. I think that they're more accepting of same-sex couples. I wouldn't say that. But I will say it was shocking to me when they all said that it was so racist in France because I'm telling you, when you walk the streets of France, you see more interracial couples. It's almost like equal, like the amount of interracial couples you see, because there are a lot of African people that are in France, and especially like a lot of African men are with white women.
Well, what about vice versa?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I saw more white women with black African men. You definitely saw black women with white men, but hands down, you saw more black men with white women. Um, so that was interesting to see. You know, and like I said, to hear that. And what was interesting was I didn't know that that kind of thing happened there where they just like shooting unarmed brown people. Like I didn't.
It's there too.
Yeah, yeah. Like that boy was killed, and
Yeah.
they tried to lie and they tried to cover it up and say that he pulled a weapon or he was, you know, he was aggressive. And but fortunately, somebody was video. There was video footage that showed otherwise.
This is not cyber. This is what I meant to ask, and I never asked you. Did and you probably no, I didn't notice that. But I was wondering. I meant to tell you to look for to find out if it's true that grilling, like how we barbecue,
Yeah.
or char grilling outside is outlawed or against code. Because I heard that is
Out
against
there
code because of the carcinogens that come from smoke. That it's not allowed over there.
Yeah, I gotta ask.
Yeah, ask maybe Vinny.
I have to ask Vinny. I went to Paris over a decade ago and was surprised how many interracial couples. Yeah, especially black women with white men. Yeah, you do see that. I saw more black men with white women, but I mean, you see both. That's what I'm saying. Like when you walking around, you're like, there's racism here, because it just seems like everybody is so accepting because the lines are so blurred. It's like you don't know who's what. You don't know if they're black. You don't know if they're white. You don't know if they're Persian. You don't know if they're from some other country. Because again, just like here in the United States, we're connected by states. Over there, they're connected by countries.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You know, like when you heard Nikki say, no, somebody said they were born in, they were raised in. I think Nikki said she was raised in Switzerland. Mm-hmm. She was born in Switzerland. She was raised in France. You know what I'm saying? That's like somebody saying, "Oh, I was raised in South Carolina, but right. I live in New York now." You know what I mean? But so yeah, so it was just interesting.
So there were no American eateries. You know, people always relocate.
Oh yeah, they got McDonald's.
Oh, they ain't no eatery. Oh. McDonald's is everywhere. I know.
I mean, they got McDonald's and.
But you know how the Asian come here and do this, and then we got like La Madeleine and all that. There's no hot dog stand, hamburger stand, cookout equivalent other than McDonald's, because McDonald's is everywhere. Like
chain restaurants like McDonald's
or
I think they may have like Subway.
Oh, those.
Yeah, like stuff like that. I don't. But their McDonald's food even tastes different. Like their French fries taste differently.
Because it still caters to where it's at.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. And I don't eat meat, so I didn't taste the hamburgers. But I remember years ago when I was in high school, you have to tell them well done, because they will send you a medium well burger out at McDonald's.
So I wonder what was their.
You got to be bien
French like. I know in Hawaii they had
bien keep, meaning well done.
Purple pie or something. You know, they always do something tailored to where they're at. Even at McDonald's, I wonder what it was over there.
But you know, with me being pescatarian, like I will say that I didn't necessarily love the food because it was hard for me to find places that really had like seafood.
And or lots of vegetables, or just certain.
The vegetables were fine, but it was just hard to find like something with like a shrimp dish or something. I mean, I could find fish, but I don't know. It was just different. Yeah. So, yeah, somebody said that their meat doesn't taste the same. And that's what I'm saying. I remember that. I don't remember what it tastes like, but I remember it tasting different when I went in high school. Yeah. But their French fries, I did have the French fries when I was there. That first weekend I got there. In fact, that first night that I got there, because I landed in the morning, Vinny and I met in the airport. You'll see that on the Patreon if you subscribe, My Life in Paris. We met in the airport. The first time we saw each other was in the airport. And we took an Uber together because our apartments were close together. They weren't far apart. And that night, he invited me to a ball. So I went home. Yeah, I went home, unpacked, took a nap, did all of that, ate, showered, and then I met him out. I took an Uber and met him at this place for this ball. And there was a McDonald's across the street. And I was starting to get a little hungry again because remember, I was on a different time schedule. So I was starting to get hungry again. So I went over there, and all I could get from McDonald's was some French fries. Their French fries did not taste the same. And I was like, "What is this?"
What?
Yeah, they taste like old school fries. And then like, I ended up like, I would find like these vegan places, and that's where I was eating from.
You had lentils, or like stuff that contained lentils, or like what was it?
I think some of, but some of that stuff was just like.
Really?
I think I gained weight while I was there because I was eating a lot of that vegan stuff, but a lot of that stuff was it was like burgers, but it wasn't burgers that was made from like quinoa.
Right.
It probably was like Impossible type shit. And so I think I kind of gained weight, and I think I gained a couple lbs. But the thing is, I didn't love the food. So again, that's why I ended up going to this one restaurant so many times, and I ended up getting this fish dish, and it was like these juliennes, like zucchini and carrots, and it was in like this green sauce. This shit was so amazing, and the fish was like pan seared. It was so good. Parker boy said, "Yeah, you had gained weight." Ooh. But Keon kept saying it too. When I came home, he kept saying, "You seem like you gained weight."
I think it shifted more so. You gained, but it shifted. Like you didn't just like blow up.
Right. Look at Rochelle. So yeah, so I think I did. So I think it did shift. Let me see. We thought you know what, Kevin Kev, go on somewhere. Thank you, Mr. D. But Keon was like, you gained weight. Like he was like, you just look. I was like, really? Thank you, Ho. But I was going to the gym there, and I was walking more. I don't walk here because I get in the car. But I walk to the gym. I didn't go to the gym every day, but I was definitely going to the gym at least 4 times a week. And when I tell you, the gym was like 20 minutes from my house. Even if it was 20 minutes each way. And I carried like my backpack and I walk, I had my earphones in, and I would be listening to a podcast, walking to the gym. And then when I got a French podcast, and then I would get to the gym, I would put on my French playlist. And then sometimes, I don't even know if I was really listening to English music, because while I was there, I was just trying to listen to just French stuff. I was just trying to listen mostly to that kind of stuff.
So you didn't eat any escargot or snail pie?
No, we did not. And I did not. And but overall, I really, really enjoyed it. But Vinny had me in those streets, baby. I was out all the time.
Yes, but that's okay.
Yeah, and then there were times that he was, he left, because he left the country when I left the country.
Okay.
He left to go somewhere. He went to Australia.
Oh, really?
He had a gig in Australia.
Wow.
And so, I'm definitely tired, Gary. But he went to Australia, and that was the same week that I went to London. And then when I came back, he came back. We came back like a day apart. And so like he came to see me the night before I left, and we sat and we talked. And he was just like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna miss you. Like I can't believe that you're leaving." He said, "I've gotten so used to you," because like we literally talked every day. We didn't see each other every day. Because like there were days that he had to go do what he was doing, and then there were days that I just wanted to kind of go and do on my own. I didn't want to be so dependent on him, and I didn't want him to feel like he had to babysit me or coddle me. So like there were days that I would just go and explore the city on my own. I would get on the train and go places. Like especially once I learned how to use that train, I would go out on that train. It's like because I didn't want to always just jump in an Uber. Like that's easy to just jump in an Uber. Right. And put it in a dress.
Were the Uber drivers nice? Were they local or like here or different places?
A lot of them from other places, but really? they had been living in France for a long time. Okay. Every now and then, I think I ran into one that was like from France, but most of them were from someplace else. Okay. And again, most of those people that you run into there, whether it's Vinny and his friends or the Uber drivers, most of them speak multiple languages. Most of them, because they're coming from other countries, and Let me see.
But see,
I
that's
love the
the
episode.
United
Why didn't you
States.
have different age ranges? Like the first one, did you meet any older? Well, Nikki is a little older. She just didn't want to tell y'all her age. So Vinny is 31. Mariana is 24. And yeah, they're polyglots. And meaning they speak multiple languages. And then Lulu is 24. So it was 24, 25, 31, and Nikki, you know. Yeah. Yeah, the American Uber app worked over there. They don't have Lyft, but they have Uber. So yeah, you use the same app, the same Uber app. And they had Uber Eats. Because so when I first got there, those of you that follow me on Twitter, you know I was tearing Uber Eats up on Twitter. Because one day I ordered some food and they delivered it. Well, but I never got it.
And did you see any Amazon trucks?
I didn't see any Amazon trucks, but they do have Amazon because I ordered Vinny ordered it for me. Okay. I didn't order it because when I logged into Amazon, it was my account. And it would have delivered here. Amazon is like you got to switch over. Yeah, like you got to switch over to the European one. Okay. And it was just too much for me to navigate to try to switch over to just order something. So I just had Vinny order it. Okay. And then I just gave him the money. But what was I saying? Oh, so one day I ordered some food. And when I tell you, I'm sitting there waiting for my food, and I'm looking, and the next thing I know, it says, "Thank you for your order." I'm like, "Wait, thank you for my order? Where's my damn food?" And you know, once they do that, you can't contact the driver no more. Wow. So I emailed Uber, and so I was messaging on Twitter, and I was messaging Uber. I was like, "Y'all better send my damn money." They said, "Oh, it's gonna take us 24 hours to refund you. We got to look into it." And I was sitting there thinking, like, now what if that was the only $20 or whatever it was that I paid for the food? But I'm like, what if that was the only money that I had? Now I got to wait. You didn't look for snail pie. Right. I'd have been looking for some snail pie. So I went on and ordered the food again, but I tore their asses up on Twitter. And somebody responded and said, "Oh, we don't use Uber over here. No way. You need to use Deliveroo." Oh. And so I downloaded this app called Deliveroo, and it's still on my phone, but we don't have Deliveroo in the States. So what happened to the Uber stuff? They ended up crediting me. I ordered the food again, and then they went on and credited me back like a day later. But I use this app called Deliveroo. Oh. You can use that in Europe. They have that in London too. So when I went to London from like, if you sign up for the My Life in Paris, you would know all this. But I went to London on Thanksgiving. I got there on Thanksgiving Day. And so it was a Thursday, and then I went back to Paris on that Monday. I stayed from like Thursday to Monday. But when I was in London, I used Deliveroo. I stopped using Uber Eats, and I really didn't want to use it once I got back here to the States. But Deliveroo is not available in the States. It's not here yet. Well, that was good. It was really good. So it was just nice to. They were a much calmer group. Even though they were abroad then, because in Atlanta, everybody's a movie star, famous. Right. And then I think also because it was like 13, including me, when we filmed the first season, it was like 13 of us or 12 of us or something, which, I still think it was a great conversation. Yeah, it was. It was great, the variety. Right. But I'm already thinking about when I'll film the next one. And, what'd you say? I see you got your cocktail part 2. Right. So it was I'm already thinking about like what I'll film, like what conversation will I film next. But I'm probably not gonna do it until like May or something like that. Yeah, you probably need to. Right. But at any rate, listen, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel or like my Facebook page where you see this video. Jack said good night, and I'll see you guys before Monday, but the next episode will be Monday at 8 p.m. Well, maybe I'll drop next week early because y'all were asking me yesterday to drop it early. So maybe I'll drop it early. Maybe I'll drop it at like 8 in the morning or something. It just depends on what time I get it. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lois. I appreciate it. You guys have an amazing night. Brush your teeth, floss your teeth, and brush your tongue. Don't forget to do your oil pulling. Don't forget to sign. Don't forget to sign up for Pay for Your Say. Don't forget to order your Goldie gummies. Use promo code Craig the Writer Stewart. Don't forget to order your sea moss. You see that I'm not just telling you that it's good. The people are saying that it's really, really good. Use promo code CTWS to get your 10% off. That information is in the caption of the video. All right. Yes, please go wash your tail because I'm about to go wash mine. Have an amazing night. Thank you for supporting everything that I do. I really, really do appreciate it. Bye.